How strange.
Please forget the lateness of the hour.
Something wicked this way comes.
This is the Nighttime Blues.
Spooky.
Ours better than you think. And now, with your permission.
Good evening, dear listener, and welcome to the Nighttime Blues, a show where we explore songs, stories, and the strange edges of the nighttime. I'm your host, Collin Marx. Everybody's got a ghost story, if you ask, and I've derailed many a conversation right off a cliff trying to hear them. Some folks have their story chambered up and ready to go at any moment. Most people, when asked if they have a story, almost instinctively say no, but if you give them a moment, they'll start with, well, there was this one weird thing. I love collecting all kinds of weird stories. And it's part of the human experience, ghosts. They've been with us since the get-go. And as the human experience has been pushed to the wayside in our modern world, so have our ghosts been pushed to the wayside too. At least on the surface. The powers that be have no need for ghosts. They are at best a nuisance, and at worst, evidence that there is a world that cannot be controlled. And at first glance you may think they have been eradicated from our world. That common sense and science has conquered all. But we may actually be in the midst of one of the great spiritual revivals in history, a sort of great awakening for the 21st century. We see bits of it bubble up to the surface. Ads for crystals, tarot, psychics, witches and mediums on TikTok. Ghost hunting shows are more popular than ever. Almost all of them garbage. And one of its biggest personalities just opened up like a multi-million-dollar haunted museum in Las Vegas. So ghosts have become big business. But let's dig a little deeper. Underneath the commerce, people are yearning for something. What they're yearning for might depend on exactly what we're talking about. And what are we talking about? Ask the average person what they think a ghost is, and they'll probably give you your sort of standard issue Casper definition. A sort of spirit of a formerly living person that, for one reason or another, is trapped between this world and the next. Broadly speaking, this is a very ancient idea, although the definition of what a spirit is and why it's trapped can vary pretty wildly, depending on what kind of cosmology we're talking about. A more modern interpretation is that ghosts are some sort of emotional energy residue, some sort of spiritual fossil, playing a particular moment ad infinitum. Similarly, consider the notion of a poltergeist. Although poltergeist phenomenon has been recorded throughout history, only recently did it become defined as a psychic phenomenon, dealing with notions of untapped mental energy, usually among adolescents. Now, these sort of theories are very enticing to our modern mind. It allows us to discuss these sorts of experiences while still firmly remaining within like a rationalist, materialist framework. Nobody has to look like a crazy person. It's just science we haven't discovered yet. And we should not discount that idea. But maybe it's something that science isn't really designed to deal with in the first place. And while explanations like this may give some people comfort that the world could be wrapped up in a neat little box like that, it doesn't quite scratch our collective itch. Something about that answer can feel empty. What are we looking for? Maybe it's grief. Maybe people just miss a close friend or relative. They want to know that they're okay. And people do need resolution. Maybe some folks are looking for hope. Maybe these are like beings that can guide us into a better future. Maybe it's just a balm to soothe the constant onslaught of media, news, fires, floods, economic anxiety. You know how it goes. Now, I, for one, do not want to lose sight of a rationalist mode of thought. The scientific method is a valuable tool, and much more valuable than dogma. But maybe it's just not the right tool for this particular question. Ghosts persist because we actually don't know much about consciousness, or what happens to it, if anything, when we die. It's a mystery, and that mystery has shaped humanity.
Take two. Everybody, but everybody, is going to our Ghost a Go-Go show. Already the spooks are swinging, the witches are winging, the haunts are on the move. The monsters are swaying, the ghosts are saying, come on, get in the groove, and come to our rock and roll Ghost a Go-Go show. It's a zany mixture of spooks and music with the beat. You may rock with chills or roll with the combos. But whatever you do, you'll have the time of your young life at our Ghost a Go-Go show. It's new, it's different, it's tough.
If you were to ask me my own experiences with ghosts, I would have to say that they're pretty slim. I've always wanted to meet a ghost, but never have. Never really seen one or interacted with one. But, and I'm sure this is the same for you, if I do think about it, I've had some experiences. I've seen strange lights in the sky. I've had odd feelings, omens, synchronicities if things are really cooking. Yet even as one who is very open to this idea, who is always a seeker, I find myself trying to explain things away sometimes. Was it a sign, or are you just looking for a sign? Are you just seeing what you want to see? Well, most of my life has been dedicated to music, and music is about the most supernatural thing that we all interact with on a daily basis, and it's pretty undeniable. Paul McCartney said yesterday came to him in a dream, and Keith Richards said the same thing about the Satisfaction riff. David Bowie spent some time talking to various spirits and entities at his home in Los Angeles, aided by lots of cocaine. Sun Ra was given his life's mission to elevate humanity as a directive from aliens. And he didn't do any cocaine, or any drugs for that matter. In the 1970s, a woman named Rosemary Brown became famous for claiming to channel the spirits of great European composers. She would talk about how Chopin was not the melancholy figure you might expect, but was actually pretty funny. And they would dictate their new songs to her that they composed in the afterlife. And this may sound like hooey to some of you, but it was enough to attract serious attention from serious academic musicologists. And when they looked at the compositions, they said, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Do I believe Rosemary Brown? It's hard to say. I certainly believe that she believed in what was happening to her. To write the incident off as pure deception would be to not analyze the situation in earnest. Was she talking to ghosts? Was she crazy? Was she just a much more skilled composer than she gave herself credit for? I mean, according to her, she didn't even really play the piano. I think the point is to just consider other possibilities. And I think anyone who's ever sang a song or painted a painting or doodled a doodle knows exactly what I'm talking about. Whatever Rosemary Brown was doing, I think a lot of us can actually relate. This is the role that our ghosts and spirits play. I enjoy a good scare as much as the next guy, but scares can be cheap. A real scare can remind you that you're alive and to not take it for granted. Ghosts don't need to scare us. They should invigorate us. They should remind us of life, of living, how precious it is, and how beautiful it is. Who amongst us has not lived too much of their life on autopilot? It's nice to be knocked out of the stupor and back into the world of the living. This is what was on my mind when I was trying to write my most recent record. This is where I think the spooky stuff really takes you if you keep following the thread. And this is what I was thinking about when I wrote my most recent record. Particularly, actually I have my piano right here. I'll play it for you. It's called Dying Every Day. Let me play you a version of it 1 second. I can't say that I was surprised when the voices began speaking as the day turned into night. They got a lot to say, just mostly all the things they didn't get to say when they were around. The darkness settles in, and now they can't do anything, but mostly it's just a few knocks and howls. They say it's good for me, ignore what happens normally and let myself just drift into the night. And it's a dark night of the soul. You're torn apart, then you're made whole. But a reminder that we're all dying every day is good for you. No time to waste. I know it can be kinda strange. Do my best to listen as the night fades away. And at sunrise, I have to say, they make a pretty good point that we take it all for granted every day. Yeah, we all take it all for granted every day.
It's quite wonderful to get to know these composers as people, and it is, of course, a great privilege. Chopin is not at all like I might have thought he would be. He's not melancholy at all. He's quite light-hearted. His conversation is bantering, and he often teases and makes little jokes. He's a very quick worker. He works far more quickly than any of the other composers. And I've also found that he's very considerate. If he's been working with me and we've got, say, 2 pages of music written out, and then he finds my concentration is waning because I'm getting tired, he winds the piece of music off quickly so it isn't left incomplete. But then sometime later, this can be weeks or months later, he'll come along and say, well, now I'll give you the rest of such and such a piece of music. And he'll give me quite a number of bars, perhaps 2 or 3 dozen bars, but instead of this being added to the end of the music, he tells me exactly where it has to be inserted in the music. I've also found that Schubert is a very delightful person, very lovable, very modest still, and quite a gay sort of person. And he communicates very smoothly and quietly. I think Schubert is the only one of the composers who sometimes alters music just after he's given it to me. We'll be working away and suddenly he will say, stop, I don't like those last 2 bars, cross them out and I'll give you something else. All the other composers seem to have the music prepared before they bring it to me, but it's as if Schubert is still composing the music as he actually gives it to me.
That was the voice of Rosemary Brown herself, talking about the various the various spirits of composers that she would interact with. And while it's a bit odd, I must say it doesn't sound that unfamiliar the more I learn about it. I wonder if she could ever reach out to somebody a little less stiff, though. Like, where's the ghost of, I don't know, James Brown? Let's conjure up the funk.
Casper, the friendly ghost, the friendliest ghost you know. So grown up might look at him with fright, but you've been all of his soul. Casper, the friendly ghost, he couldn't be fat or mean.
Anyway, let's see here. We have a letter to the station. Let's see. Dear Nighttime Blues, I just wanted to say how much I enjoy your show. I listen most every night while I do the dishes. Lately, though, my radio's been acting funny. Every now and then it turns itself on in the middle of the night. Always playing polka music. Same song every time. I don't know the song. Something about a barrel. The air gets cold when it happens, like somebody opened the front door. My question is, do you think this is a ghost? And if so, how do I get it to stop? Best, Marge from Rhinelander. Well, Marge, thanks for writing the show. That is quite the predicament you have there. You may need to hire a professional for this one. However, before you do that, there are some things you could try, I suppose. You know, I think songs can get stuck in your house just like they get stuck in your head. When I have a song stuck in my head, the only way I can get it out is to listen to it. Really listen to it. Loud and with vigor. So, next time this happens, maybe try turning up the volume. Maybe even dance a little polka yourself. Something like that could do the trick. Well, folks, that's our show for the night. You know, as Rocky Erickson said, if you have ghosts, then you have everything. And I think he was onto something. Because ghosts aren't just rattling chains in the attic. They can be grief. They could be memories. They could be unfinished songs or new ideas. They're the reminder that there's more going on here than we can measure. And perhaps that we're lucky to be here at all. The world sure can feel strange these days, but maybe that's just this way of reminding us we're still here, still alive, still listening. Thank you for being here, and wherever you are, in the city or out in the sticks or in the space in between, I hope the nighttime treats you kindly. This is Collin Marx, and you've been listening to the Nighttime Blues. Until next time.
The Nighttime Blues is written, produced, and scored by Collin Marx. To explore more, visit collinmarx.net. This broadcast is best listened to after dark.